It's interesting actually, because the majority of the advertising dollars that we earn on YouTube actually go to the artists or the owners of the content itself. So, I mean, as I say, it's the majority of the revenue earned on YouTube from the advertising goes to the artists and the content owners. So it's really not true to say that, suggest in any way that YouTube's unfairly profiting from other people's IP. And in fact, it's in the last 12 months alone, Google's paid out more than $1 billion US to the recording industry, which is an extraordinary amount of money that they're earning from YouTube as a platform, which is fantastic. It's fantastic for the recording industry and the artists that they support, and it's also fantastic for the broader ecosystem.
And what percentage of total revenue is that $1 billion?
As I said, more than 50% of the money earned on YouTube from advertising goes back to the artists. Mm-hmm. So it's more than 50%.
Great. How does it work if I put up my favourite song on YouTube and photograph the album cover and just put it up because I like to put it up and I wanted to share it with somebody? How does that work? How do you determine if the artist is getting a payment? So it's not,
I understand.
It's not the artist putting it up, but it's a YouTube user.
Well, we've got this wonderful system at YouTube called Content ID. And Content ID is a system that we built to deal with this very issue. So the way it works is that the recording studios send us the audio files of the actual songs that they own. We then create what we call a digital fingerprint of that audio file, which we load into Content ID. Each time a new piece of user-generated content is uploaded into YouTube, we check that content against the digital fingerprint of our entire database, which is more than 60 million fingerprints, to see whether there's a match. Where there's a match, we then do what the content owner wants us to do with that particular piece of user-generated content. They've broadly got a few options. One, they can block it so that the content never actually gets onto YouTube. Secondly, they could let it go onto YouTube and just track it to see what happens with it, see who's interacting with it, who's viewing it, how long they're viewing it for. Or thirdly, they can leave it up and also monetize it, which is what we're talking about in terms of running ads against the content and benefit from the content being uploaded by users. And interestingly, more than 50% now of the content that the rights holders earn, music rights holders earn from YouTube, actually comes from user-generated content. So it's created a wonderful new revenue stream for rights holders and recording labels in particular.
The professor's contention was that you're just not paying enough, and also that it requires the copyright owner to take action before you do anything.
Look, obviously we need the copyright owners to give us the reference files in order for Content ID to work. We can't know in advance of having the actual underlying works whether who owns the copyright in them. But, as I said, Content ID is a wonderful system that works very efficiently for rights holders and has proved to be a huge new source of revenue for them. So, in our experience, it's working terrifically well for rights holders and recording studios in particular.